Hello, everyone, and welcome to the big show. This is Investing and Trading Live, sponsored by Trading Academy. If you're a first-time listener, thank you for stopping by. As always, I am your host, Josh Lilquist, and we got an action-packed show here for you today. Today, our sponsor, Trading Academy, over 26 years teaching people just like you how to trade and invest. Whether you're looking for short-term income strategies, say you have a job and you're looking for another source, or maybe you want it to be your full-time source, there are strategies designed for that. We're going to talk about some of that stuff here today. Also, if you have 401ks, IRAs, 403b, TSP, whatever those retirement quote-unquote accounts are, there are strategies designed to protect and grow those as well. We're going to talk about those as well coming up in probably the second, third, and fourth segment here on the show. And I will bring up my guest of honor, my co-host, as always, Al, on the show here in the second segment. We're going to do this one solo here in the first segment because what I want to do for you here, for my listeners here today, is go over a market overview on the financial markets, because I think it's important to understand what is happening with the markets. Now, if you look at the overall stock market, if you listen to the podcast, Investing and Trading Live on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast, we've been doing shows almost every single day and doing a market update. And we look at the S&P 500 as the overall gauge of the market. We also look at the Dow Jones, the NASDAQ, the Russell, and we've been doing updates on that. And I think it's important to do that here today since it's the end of the week here. And depending on when you're listening to the show, I guess. But there's been some interesting moves in the market. We've seen such a bull market over the course of several months here from October of 2023 to the highs of the end of March, about the 28th, Thursday the 28th, I think it was around the high, right around there. Now, we've seen a slight decline. If you look at the podcast, one of the episodes a couple days ago is the locomotive slowing down or losing its steam? And it appears to look that way because from the highs, the S&P 500, and what I'm looking at right now is the S&P 500 ETF, the SPY, is down around 5%. We've seen a lot of red in the market. There's turmoil overseas again. Obviously, there's always turmoil overseas, but that's been driving the oil market to go berserk as well the last couple days. So, looking at the S&P 500, right around just a little bit below $500 per share, depending on when you're listening to the show, 498, 495, or 497, 500 is about where the market closed the week out at. Depending on when you listen to the show here, obviously we're doing the show live a little earlier than the close. Now, because we have this drop here, there's really no demand near current price, which means it basically suggests that this potentially could go down further. Now, I'm not saying that to scare anybody. It's an opportunity in a different direction. As we know, these markets go up, they go down, they go sideways, and there always is opportunities in each direction. So we're going to discuss these different opportunities coming up here in the second and third and fourth segments here today. But that's your your S&P 500 update. The Dow Jones Industrial Average ETF right around 379.50, right around there. Same story, down from the highs from the end of the month here in March, and roughly about 5% or so. The NASDAQ around 419, 420. This one here has been losing a little bit bigger on Friday. Since the open on Friday, but down about 6.5%, close to 7%, depending on when you listen to the show as well. So the technology has been taking a slight hit. Now, what's interesting here is you're seeing some down markets with the major overall markets here on Friday, but a lot of the ETFs are up. Most of them are in the green. You look at financials, XLF up 1.1%. XLV is up 0.3%. XLU, which is utilities, that's up 1.3%. So not really any discrepancies, but just some great opportunities in these financial markets. You look at gold over the past several weeks here as well. Currently, it hit over $2,400 per ounce. So for those gold holders, that's looking really good. Now, what is that a sign of? Could that be a sign of people going to shelter, safety, right? Because gold is typically, quote unquote, is supposed to be a safe haven to go when markets are not looking so good. And this has been continuing to rise since the beginning of February. So is that a leading indicator? Well, it's really hard to say. But when you have a strategy that's designed to follow the market and do what the market is showing you and telling you to do, so you're not just reacting after the fact. It's easy for someone to say, yeah, we should have bought gold at $2,000 per ounce. Now it's at $2,400. Well, that's obviously, in hindsight, anybody can say that. But there are strategies we're going to discuss here in the upcoming segments on how to have a leading indicator or a leading strategy on when to get in your positions before these moves happen. But also when to get out of your positions and collect your profits. We always end the podcast as, collect your profits and they're given to you, and protect your losses, keeping them small. That's what you have to do in the financial markets, especially if you want longevity in the financial markets. I do want to look at oil as a quick update as we're getting close to the end of the segment. Oil on Friday moved about a total of 6% within that day. So we had a big move in oil on Friday. The majority of that move actually came overnight. So because the oil market is actually a 24-hour market. So that allows investors to trade at night, or traders to trade at night. So people that work during the day, you have opportunities to trade and invest at night as a second income strategy, or however you want to do that in the futures market. It is open during the week at night. So it just allows more people to get into different positions. So we're going to discuss a lot of these different techniques and strategies. I just wanted to give you a quick overview on the market, since we are seeing some of the train slow down per se in the markets, and just great opportunities in just a different direction. Is it time to go to shelter? Who knows? But if you have protection and you have insurance on your portfolios, you just want it to continue to move, and there are strategies designed for that. As always, we have investing classes locally at our academies. Matter of fact, we're doing investing classes all across the metro. We have our local academy right here in Bloomington. We do classes every single week here. But we've been in Wayzata, Edina, Woodbury, Maple Grove, Waconia. We've been in different locations to do these 2-hour free investing classes to help people get started if you're brand new to the market, or let's just say you've been investing and trading for many, many years and looking for more consistency. So I want to invite you to one of these classes. They're about 2 hours long. I teach these. My co-host that'll be coming on the next segment here, he teaches these as well. And these are classes where we've taught thousands, just like you, are many strategies which are designed to teach you to make smarter investing decisions. So if you simply just text the word investing to the number 210-210 right now for 2 seats with this investing class, that's going to be for one for you and one for a friend. You're also going to get a financial quick start kit for doing that. There's some different techniques and strategies to help you get started right away. So text the word investing to the number 210-210 for 2 seats for an investing class. By the way, it's free, 2 hours long. In the weekdays and the weekends. Coming up next, I'm going to bring my co-host on the show, Al. We're going to talk a lot about the different market opportunities. This is Josh and Al coming up next. We will be right back.